Hello, hello, hello. We are still in gate 20 and we are in line 4. And line 4 is called application. This influential fourth line of gate 20 can pull other people into the now, with often surprising results. The lifetime learning says recognition and awareness that can only be transformed into action in cooperation with those who have the ability to act upon the understanding. This is about transpersonal empowerment, and it tells us that the only way that is going to be able to work if those others who are about to be empowered, if they really understand what they're going to have to do. This is the basic dilemma of individuality, to have to explain themselves in order to kind of stave off rejection. It's a bit of a double whammy in many ways because it's an individual fourth line. It needs others, and yet it has a fear of rejection. So at the same time, it doesn't really want those others who may or may not reject it. The exaltation, the teacher whose students transcend him, where the expression of awareness can only be turned into action through others, the teacher. It's very often the keynote of teaching comes up through the fourth line. And through genetic continuity, all fourth lines have great teaching potential. They have a fixedness, a one-track nature that can influence others by being steady with what they offer. In the detriment, a tendency to prefer theory to application, the expression of the awareness as theory with little interest in its application. It's much easier for individuals to say, this is how you live in the now, rather than to be the example of it. They'd rather give you a book and then send you on your way. Individuals might like to think that their way is the only way, that being in the now, which is after all their time frame, individuality is about the now, that it's the only way. But of course it's not. That's not the way it works. The collective and the tribe are here too, sharing this experience with their own time frames and their own understanding of how it works. Living in the now is correct for those who are made to be in it. And if you're not, it's okay. You don't have to be there. You don't have to pretend to be living in the now if that's not your way. It's not about being spiritual or existential or kind of exalted. There's no advantage in trying to be something that you're not. Whatever your design, you're not broken. There's nothing to fix. And although by nature of the design and the mechanic, we will want what we haven't got, to try and pretend that we've got it isn't going to serve us. What serves us is to be what we are. This is the essential message of human design, after all. This is why we have strategy and authority. It kind of keeps us on the path of being correct, of being who we truly are. And it also opens the way for us to love ourselves for it too. Gate 34 in the line 4 is called triumph. The moment the individual can be truly mutative is the moment that they come into their power. All they have to do to live out their nature, all any of us have to do really, is live out our type, our definition, and our authority. And here the fourth line brings triumph, and because of genetic continuity, there is triumph in application. It's the teacher who can let go of the students who transcend them because they know that they will triumph when they do, and they will celebrate that. They're not trying to hang on to them. The individual living in the now through the 20th gate, they can give you the theory rather than the application if that's their design. And they will triumph in doing so. They will empower themselves by doing so, tapping into that power of the sacral, pulling the correct people into the now. Venus moves into gate 20 at 23:56. So we're probably getting quite familiar with the themes of gate 20 by now. Do you value this exploration of contemplation in the now? The moon has not long moved into the sacral gate 34. This is our double power thing. So it's not until 8:10 tonight that we have gate 9, which is another sacral gate, and this is the taming power of the small. It's the gate of focus. This is where potential can be fulfilled by having a detailed attention to all of the aspects that might be concerned. This is a gate in logical collective circuitry. When there is nothing to focus on for this gate, there can be a despondency, a heaviness, a depression even. Some discipline might be needed to wait for the correct response, for something new to focus on, rather than just jumping on the next thing that comes along because they're so bored, because they've got to use up that sacral energy somehow. And gate 5 at 6:37, the gate of waiting, the gate of fixed patterns, fixed rhythms. Here we have what's the word? Fundamental attunement to natural rhythms, where waiting, we are told, is an active state of awareness. So this is something to contemplate as we're still in gate 20 and we've got this energy of contemplation in the now. Waiting as an active state of awareness. There's a powerful need in this sacral gate for a fixed rhythm, for a daily routine, and staying with our own unique habits and patterns, such as when to schedule meal times, when to go to bed, get up, when to exercise, all that kind of thing. This can really ensure our overall well-being. There may be resistance from others who consider these routines to be compulsive, perhaps, or try to impose their own routine, or try to change our routine. But any deviation from our own tempo, if we have this gate, especially if it's in a consistent experience, any kind of deviation out of that routine can be really destabilizing. It can be physically uncomfortable. And of course, it's nobody else's business what we do. It's always something that is interesting to remind ourselves of, as well as perhaps remind other people. It's my rhythm. Go find your own. This is the end of 20 Gateful. Thank you for joining me. And as always, go gently with your lovely selves. And I will see you again tomorrow.